Greetings, everyone. How are you doing today? Well, I hope this is LaShawn Adesemilolu, the co-founder of No Limit Tax Refunds Tucker, and I help individuals and business owners to save more money on their taxes. Today, I'm coming here to talk a little bit about the PPP loans, okay? A lot of people are talking about it, the Paycheck Protection Program loans, okay? So the deadline is coming up as of, I believe, May 31st. And I have been getting quite a few of the same type of questions in my DMs. So I created this video to answer these questions and hopefully help some of you guys to decide whether this is something that you want to pursue. Okay, if you have any other questions as I do this video, feel free to drop it in the comments or you can send me a DM. Okay, all right. So first question is the PPP loan the same as the EIDL loan? Okay, so last year when the pandemic first occurred, the SBA released a number of corona relief loans, okay? One of those was the EIDL loans. That was the Economic Impact Disaster Loan. That is different than the PPP loan, okay? So the EIDL loan is a non-forgivable loan, okay? They did have some grants. Depending on how many employees you had, you may have qualified for a grant up to $10,000, which, you didn't have to pay back. But any type of loan that you got that was not the grant, it is required to be paid back. Now, the great thing about that loan is it is a very low interest rate, right? So it was at a 1% interest rate. And that's lower than any other loan that many business owners can find. And so that was very, very helpful for a lot of businesses. Now, the PPP loan is completely separate from that. And so if you did receive an EIDL loan last year or this year, you can still apply for it and get approved for the PPP loan. Now, the Paycheck Protection Loan it can be forgivable depending on how you use the funds, okay? So it is very important to use the funds the correct way so that when it's time to apply for forgiveness, you have all your ducks in a row. The Paycheck Protection Program is for, let's talk about who it's for. It is for independent contractors, business owners, if you were self-employed, this loan is for you. So like I said, this could be forgivable. The qualifications are just that you were self-employed. So if you received a 1099 from your employer, you're an independent contractor, they didn't take any taxes out of it, guess what? You are considered self-employed, okay? So you can still apply for this loan. Now, another question that I got was, how many PPP loans are there? And that's an excellent question. As of right now, there are two different Paycheck Protection Program loans, okay? The first one became available as of last year, but they have opened it up this year. Like if you didn't receive it, if you didn't take advantage of it last year, you could still qualify for it this year. And yes, so if you did not get the first loan last year, you can apply for the first loan this year. And the great thing is if you apply for it this year and you receive the funding and there is still more funding and time left, you can go ahead and apply for the second one right after you receive the first, okay? So there is some qualifications for the second loan, like you had to have experienced a decrease in revenue or your income, I believe, of 25%. So I have to go back and check on that, but there is some requirements in order to receive the second loan. All right, so I hope I'm not moving too fast here, but let's go ahead into the qualifications. So you say, okay, I'm self-employed, I was a contractor. What type of information are they going to be looking for? All right, so they're going to want a bank statement, okay? It can be either a business bank statement or a personal bank statement. And that's going to be from February 2020. they're going to want that. Okay. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a bank statement, I don't know what to say. That's what they want. Okay. They're also going to be asking for invoices. Invoices from you to a client or from a client to you from February of 2020, because they want to make sure that you are in business during that time. So because the PPP loan is like the hot topic right now, a lot of people are taking advantage of this who are not business owners, okay? They don't have any type of business, never been self-employed. They are creating businesses to take advantage of this money. And so they want to be sure that you're submitting documentation to prove that you actually had a business during this time and you are a legitimate business owner. What I will say is if you're watching this video and you know you did not have a business, I would not even apply for this loan or even mess with it, okay? Because this is federal money, right? This is the SBA, and they have access to see if you actually have a business and if you've been filing this business on your tax return. And so if you're making something up just to get money now, you know, isn't it likely that they can come back and audit you? Isn't it likely that they can come back in a few years and say, hey, you said you had this business, but we haven't heard anything else about it, right? So just consider that. Consider the consequences of your actions before you try to take advantage of this if you are not a business owner, okay? All right, so that's my next thing. So I should have wrote this down. What other questions have I got about the PPP loan? Okay. Is it a lengthy process? It is a lengthy process. And if you're not somebody who has the time or the patience or the desire to go through this process, I would suggest getting assistance. So I do help with the PPP application process. And if you work with me, I'm going to ask you for certain documentation that I talked about before, and I will help you with the application process. Now, it should go without saying, however, let me say it, I do charge a fee to help you with the application process because it's taking my time, knowledge, and expertise to help you through this process. So there is a fee. If you would like my assistance or you want to know more about the fee, please feel free to DM me and we can go through that. My fee is non-negotiable and it goes into helping you apply for this loan. And it's going to help you in applying for the forgiveness part. Okay, so once your loan has been funded, I'll go into explaining how you need to use these funds in order to qualify for forgiveness. And when it's time to do the application, I'm going to help you through that process as well. Okay, so I'm trying to make it as easy for you as possible, you know, if you're working with me through this process. Okay, so again, if you would like to apply and you would like my assistance, you can feel free to DM me. That's just the best way. DM me and I'll give you more information. If you want me to DM you, drop a comment, like more info, and I'll send you a message. What else did I want to say? Okay, so I have been a tax professional, y'all, for a long time. Shout out No Limit Tax Refunds Tucker. If you need tax assistance, let me know. We are still helping individuals and business owners with their taxes. However, with that being said, I do know that a lot of business owners who have legitimate businesses did not file a tax return just because, like, number one, they don't know what to do, what to put, where to start, what is what. They just don't know. And they have not made the decision or taken the time to outsource or hire a tax accountant who can help them through this process, okay? So if you are somebody who actually has a legitimate business and you either did not file a tax return for 2019 or 2020, or you filed the tax return but you omitted your business, contact me and we can have a consultation, because it might be in your benefit to go back and amend the tax return and add your business information so that you can take advantage of this loan. Again, this is for people who had a legitimate business in 2020, okay? If you're just trying to come off the cuff with something and be like, yeah, I got, because if you're working with me, I'm going to ask you to see like social media platforms, a website, invoices. You have to show me proof that you actually had this business, okay? Because I don't desire for anything to, you know, come back on either one of us. And so I'm here to help business owners who are in need of assistance, because that's what this loan is here for. A lot of people who were self-employed or entrepreneurs in 2020 definitely experienced a decrease in revenue, a decrease in income, because there was this quarantine. People were not going out. People were not spending money like that because they lost their job. And so these funds are available for people like us, okay? So again, if you would like more information on that, feel free to send me a DM. If you have any questions about the PPP process that I did not answer in this video, go ahead and drop a comment for the benefit of everyone, and I will go ahead and answer that in the comment section. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Just a quick wrap up. The EIDL loan is different from the PPP loan. If you received the EIDL loan last year, you can still qualify for both PPP loans, okay? These loans are forgivable. I definitely would recommend everyone who qualifies to take advantage of these loans, okay? Take advantage of it. If you feel like, oh, LaShawn, I cannot even go through this process again. Okay, so pay somebody to help you through the process. Like, I really don't understand why people don't want to pay people to help them. Like, it befuddles me. But as a tax professional, I get that a lot. People are like, oh, I just want to go on TurboTax and do it myself. Okay, that's fine. But if you get frustrated going through the PPP process, that's not your time to jump in my DM and say, hey, they're asking me for this. What should I do? Okay, that's when I'm going to, don't be offended. That's when I'm going to tell you to book a paid consultation with me, okay? Because I've taken a lot of webinars, did a lot of research, and paid consulting to get the information that I know for this PPP process. And I cannot just give that information out for free, or I don't desire to give the information out for free. Like, I'm here to help, but I want it to be mutually beneficial, okay? So I have to be compensated just like you're going to be compensated. Now, the thing about me is, if you work with me, you don't have to pay me until your PP loan has been funded, okay? So I'm not in the business of, you don't have to pay money up front. As long as I have everything, we're going to have a contract between us that says when your PPP loan is funded, then my bill is due, okay? So that's another thing to note. Another thing, if you come to me and you want more information and you want to get started, understand that this is a time-sensitive process, okay? The deadline is coming up, and for some people, this thing could take like a month or so. So it's very imperative that you get your documentation to me as soon as possible. Like, the longer you take to get it to me, the longer the overall process could be. And if you're somebody who could qualify for both loans, you might only be able to get one loan because, like, you were dragging your foot with this process. Okay, so now is the time. Think about the money. Remember, this could be free money. Now is the time for you to sit down and, like, get diligent and, like, let me get this documentation to her so that I can get approved for this loan. Okay, again, this is for anybody who had a business last year. Okay, so if you had a business last year, you could qualify. Something else I wanted to say is the amount that you get approved for is going to depend on the amount on your Schedule C, okay? So if there's anybody out there, if you see any videos or posts saying that I can get you $20,000 of forgivable PPP loan, like, that's a bait and switch, okay? Or there's something fraudulent going on, because how can somebody guarantee you a certain amount of money without seeing your documentation? The amount that you get approved on is based on the amount of your Schedule C. So unless you have a large gross on your Schedule C, and remember, this is money that you're paying taxes on, okay? This is money that you reported to the IRS. Unless you have a large amount on your Schedule C, then you're not going to qualify for a large amount. However, something is better than nothing. So I get some people who, they feel like, oh, I didn't make much of my Schedule C, so I might only qualify for this. Is it still worth it? To me, yes, it's worth it. Even if you only get $500, isn't that worth it? If somebody came up to you and said, here's $500, would you be grateful, or would you be like, nah, I don't need $500, you keep it? Okay, you tell me. I'm an excellent receiver. I'm not turning down any money, okay? Money comes always and always. And so to me, if you had a business, if you have that Schedule C, anything is better than nothing, okay? So definitely it's in your benefit to apply. So I'm going to end this here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments or send me a DM. Please share if you know any entrepreneurs, business owners that could benefit from this. Go ahead and share this video. What do you have to lose? You may just help somebody. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Again, my name is LaShawn Adesemilolu of No Limit Tax Refunds Tucker, and we help individuals and business owners to save more money on their taxes. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will be back soon. Peace and love, guys. Peace and love.